This is Real to Real going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Edition of Real to Real, presented by Lubbock ISD TV. I'm Nevaeh Cairns, a junior from Coronado.
And I'm Jared Owens, also a junior from Coronado. On this edition of the show, we get the chance to see and hear from a lot of great people that are in our district.
Yes, we will, and we'll start out at the Big E. At Estacado High School, 9th graders celebrated History Day as this national program where students have a chance to do a research project around a theme. The theme they chose was an impact of cell phones. Of course, all 9th grader students created a project in collaboration with Texas Tech, and they presented their exhibit to judges.
It's a frontier because a frontier, if I'm not mistaken, is how something like revolutionized the world. And cell phones changed how we communicate with like letters, because letters did take a long time to send, but now it's so easy with just like some typing and just a button to press send, and it gets like the word out to like a lot of people really fast.
And keeping it with History Day, but to our middle school ranks, 7th grade students at McKenzie Middle School had a similar competition in honor of history. The theme for this competition was Frontiers of History students that advanced from this competition will move on to a regional competition with hopes of advancing to state and even national competitions.
We presented the space race. We kind of talked about how like it kind of changed like our lives today. Like it like kind of changed life, and like they designed, like they built a satellites in order for technology. It kind of like changed our lives.
You can tell by the video that they have a lot of time and energy into these projects. And as you are also about to tell, a lot of our schools are doing this school project. Because at 8 a.m. this morning, the 3rd grade students at Roscoe Wilson presented their research on various world changers. Today they dressed and acted just like the person they were presenting.
Yes, we encourage them to find that passion and grab onto it. We learn about a lot of people who have had the same passion since they were little, and they did go change the world. So we try to show them examples of that and encourage them, and like, you can do it. You can be that person. You grab that passion and you keep going with it.
That's too cool. And keeping it at the elementary ranks, Carmona Harrison Elementary School wrapped up last week with a fun party for students who met strong goals in the month of January. They had some killer dance moves. Congrats to those students on a great month.
Hey Jared, did you know that it is Career and Technical Education Month?
I did. But did you know that Lubbock ISD has 33 unique courses of study, and that includes close to 130 high school class offerings, and 30% of them are here at the ATC. There's the stat of the day. Of course, this month is a great way for schools to collaborate, promote, and educate families, students, and parents on the importance of CTE classes.
CTE month means opportunity to me. It's an opportunity for every student in the district to receive training for a high wage, high skills job that's also high in demand. You could do this here while you're at school, and you don't have to pay anything extra. So what do you get to do in CTE that you don't get to do in other classes? Well, one of those is work in real life scenarios. You get to be a real welder. You get to be a real nurse's aide. You get to be a real graphic designer. In addition to doing all of those things hands-on, you get to work with industry-based equipment. You get to work with your friends in collaborative groups, and you get to go to leadership opportunities and chances to go and compete around the state.
You can tell Ms. Vintel is very passionate about CTE, and you love to see that.
We do love to see that. And still to come on this edition of Real to Real, we'll show the latest basketball standings as our girls teams set off for the playoffs. Who's in and who's ready to make some noise for the postseason. Parker will have that all in details.
But first, weather changes are on the way. Once again, and do you know what's trending? Apparently, a 25-year-old movie is about to make its way back into theaters.
We'll have that all and more when we return on the second edition of Reel to Reel.
Gary, you gonna wear your seatbelt?
No. Dude, I don't need a seatbelt. We're in the middle of a parking lot. We're at school, so we're fine.
It's your family.
All right, wait.
So are we gonna wear our seatbelt from now on? Exactly. Always wear your seatbelts.
The following was pulled from the LISD TV archives.
It's our job to educate the first-year students on how to be journalists. It's kind of like our training camp.
In 3, 2, 1.
Read those scripts. Read those scripts. I see you back there. Read those scripts. Read those scripts. Get that blood flowing. Think scripts. Think scripts. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. Type those stories. Type those stories. Check those sources. Check those sources.
Anything to do our jobs better, we're all for it.
Give me energy. Give me energy.
Hey Sam, come check this out.
Yo, what's up, Julius? What's going on?
It's our new theme song for Reel to Reel.
Dude, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Let's.
Get it, Sam.
Oh, dude. Oh.
Get it.
Yeah. Yo, what's going on?
We're listening to our new theme song for Reel to Reel, bro. Can I join you? Yeah, come on, get in, bro.
Come on. Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Yes, sir. Oh.
Everyone has friends, but here at Lubbock ISD TV, some of us have a special connection.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, Miss. Jared and Parker have a bit of a sixth sense between each other.
My knee's really hurting. I need Jared.
Parker.
Parker, I'm coming. What?
That reminds me of the time we tried to separate them.
You guys just need some time apart. Why'd they separate us?
I guess we learned our lesson.
Welcome back to Reel with hosts Jared Owens and Nevaeh Cairns. Weather with Joshua Baca. Sports with Parker Haggard. And Trending Now with Angel Boyd. Now, back to the desk as we continue our 22nd episode of Reel to Reel.
Welcome back to Reel to Reel. Nevaeh, our show continues to get better and better.
Right, and we're now on episode 22 of the school year. And crazy to think, 20 of these shows have been live. We were so scared back then to do the shows live, and now I can't imagine us not doing them live.
Me either. The live element of the show makes it so fun. And speaking of fun, we've had a lot of fun this week going out to various campuses and telling stories.
In all, we filmed 13 stories featuring all 5 high schools, 2 of our middle schools, and the ATC.
As you probably know, because we are celebrating CTE month, these stories are about our CTE programs.
And our first story comes from Lubbock High School. Naomi Spears and Caleb Galbraith have more.
Hi, I'm Matthew Pugh. I teach forensic science, aquatic science, and environmental systems here at Lubbock High School. Everything I teach can be a career. So oftentimes students have a hard time understanding how is this used in the real world, or when would I ever need to know this? And I like teaching a CTE course because everything can be a career, and it usually pays really well. CTE is really important because it gives opportunities for students to learn things in school that actually applies to the real world more directly. Offers them opportunities to learn about careers that they can do right out of high school or after some short training. And I think a lot of times high schoolers have a hard time figuring out what they want to do with their future. And CTE offers them an opportunity to try something, and if they don't like it, it was basically free. Whereas if you go to college or trade school, you spent tens of thousands of dollars on something, you're 20, 22 years old, and you hate it. So if you can take CTE courses, it saves you time, money, and it's a lot more entertaining than sitting in a class that you don't want to be in.
Mr. Pugh is exactly right. We get to find our passion for a career after high school, but because of these classes.
Do you plan on doing this as a career after high school?
Absolutely. Sports broadcasting or this. I have a passion for working behind the camera and in front. What about you?
For sure. And for our next story, Spotlight, we come back here to the ATC where we showcase a program that nails it every time.
Give them the basic knowledge to start out at a basic job in the construction industry. The houses we build for the Habitat for Humanities. They're 1,200 square feet. There's 3-bedroom, bath and a half, kitchen, everything.
So how that works is that we build a house and we give it to someone for free who don't have a home and stuff. To do one house, it takes about 2 school years. Slowly but surely, it can put together. One thing I like about construction is that it's always something you can use in the future, because no matter what, people are always going to need construction workers or labor workers to do stuff, no matter what. So I think it's really awesome, especially that it's going to a family in need, because a lot of people, are homeless and they really need it, but they don't have it. Yeah, it's a good opportunity because it's great, especially for a job in the future, because there's always really good money to be made.
We just want this thing to grow and to help you guys better yourselves and better your families if that's what needs to happen.
Story by Bella and Caesar. The natural sounds in that story were on point.
Yes, they were. And of course, we will be telling more of these stories all February as we celebrate Career and Technical Education Month.
And with that, Jared, are you ready to hear what's trending?
You know it. Let's send it on over to Angel Boyd, who is standing by at the Trending Now set. Angel.
Thanks so much, Jared and Nevaeh. I am Angel Boyd, and I am here to help you discover today's trending news from around the world. A daring rescue of a man thrown from a capsized boat in icy ocean waters turned out to be just the tip of the iceberg. Coast Guard rescuers training in Oregon got a real-life distress call and responded to a boat in trouble in choppy coastal waters. As a rescue swimmer was making his way to the vessel, a massive wave capsized the boat, throwing the lone passenger to the water. The man was successfully rescued, but was later arrested. It turns out police say the boat had been reported stolen, and the rescued man was wanted on several charges in both the US and Canada. Police in Canada are looking for a pair of suspects that drove a car through a Toronto mall to pull off a heist. The car was caught on camera smashing through the mall entrance. And driving through the shopping center, police say at some point the pair stopped and robbed an electronics store before continuing on and smashing through an exit. On the other end of the building, authorities have recovered the car but are still looking for the culprits. And recent flooding caused a sinkhole in San Joaquin County, prompting officials to close the road using big signs like these. Apparently, they weren't big enough because state troopers say they had to deal with 3 separate incidents of people ignoring these signs and driving into the giant hole. Tickets for Beyonce's Renaissance Tour are going on sale today, and there are growing concerns about both concert and scams. Another potential Ticketmaster fiasco, as the Better Business Bureau says, scams are very likely, so beware before you buy into the frenzy.
They're ignoring the red flags because they just want to get those tickets, and scammers are taking advantage of that.
To the movie scene. One of the biggest movies of all time sails back into theaters this weekend as Titanic celebrates its 25th anniversary.
And I think people know instinctively that the theatrical experience of the film will be more profound, more powerful.
It took nearly 2 months, but a movie finally topped the Avatar sequel at the weekend box office. In fact, 2 movies did.
Oh my gosh, what is happening?
80 for Brady debuted in second place, beginning its box office season with $12.5 million. Knock at the Cabin is the first new #1 movie since mid-December. The M. Night Shyamalan thriller made $14.2 million to open in first place. And that's a look at what's trending now. Hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's week, and I'll send it back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Angel. Nevaeh, did you see that car driving through the Toronto Mall? That was crazy.
Right? I thought that was crazy too. You know what else is crazy?
What's that?
The Lubbock weather.
Right. Let's send it on over to Ethan Martijarena at the weather set. Ethan, do we have any crazy weather on the way?
Well, guys, I answered that question in a bit.
But sadly, Joshua could not be here today due to weather, but thankfully they had a shirt just my size. So let's go ahead and take a look at our Friday forecast. Today, February 9th, the weather shows that we are going to have sunny skies with a high of 48 and a low of 23. We're going to have the wind speeds at around 15 miles per hour, but that might go a little higher, so, you know, just prepare to have a jacket on today. And now into the weekend. So our temps are going to warm up a bit, and we'll see a rise on Saturday to a high of 60, and we could even get higher temps on Sunday as we get close to 70 degrees. But for the second straight week, Sunday looks to be the best day to get outdoors. And so it'll be that way for a little bit, because as we look at our 7-day forecast, we can see that right here we have a high on Monday of, oopsie, in the way. We have a high of 60 and a low of 37. But there's going to be cloud coverage starting on Monday and precipitation starting around Monday night, going on to Tuesday. And then things are going to carry over into Wednesday, and it'll pick back up again. Winds are going to be around 25 miles per hour on both Wednesday and Thursday. And because of the wind speeds, temperature is going to drop on Thursday. It's going to be a little chilly there. Yeah. So, Nevaeh and Jared, did that answer your question? I know the weather's going to be a little crazy, but I mean, hey, just another day in Lubbock.
Yes, we are. But as a baseball player that's getting ready for the season, rain days are no fun. But as a West Texan, I know we need it to rain, so I am excited for it.
Me too. Thank you, Ethan. And so to come on this edition of Real to Real, we keep it real with Mr. Ward.
But first, we head over to the Sports Connection with Parker Haggard as we had another big signing and a fun interview with one of the coaches.
We'll be right back with that and more right after this.
Being on TV, you always want the perfect show.
5, 4, 3.
And coming up, did you know? No.
Hey Xavier, are you okay? Are you feeling well?
I'm fine, just let me keep going.
And usually, we handle it like professionals. You just don't have it today. Maybe just next show. Sometimes you don't have your best stuff, and so we have to bring in a closer.
Let's go.
It's all part of the game. 4, 3.
Welcome back to Lubbock ISD TV, and whoa, I'm excited to be here.
With Lubbock ISD TV, our fans can always check out the highlights of all our shows and sports broadcasts by following our social media. Super fans can get even more access by watching live streams, video on demand, and more on our website. And for our fanatics who still can't get enough of Lubbock ISD TV, we have uncut footage of Caleb Galbraith making a sandwich just for you. Keep up to date with all things Lubbock ISD TV on all our platforms.
I just work here.
This spot you see right now is the place where a special group of people are remembered forever. Through various wars, these heroes fought for something that wasn't free, and it took all of their bravery. A hero is someone who gives his or her life to something bigger than oneself. We thank you, soldiers, for your sacrifice.
She's a close friend of mine.
I found the doll. It's really gone.
Welcome back to Real to Real. I'm Parker Haggard here with your Sports Connection. Dirk Nowitzki once said the playoffs are all about showing heart and playing together, and the playoffs are about winning. And our teams are hitting their stride at the right time, as the Escada Lady Matadors and Coach Devin Griffin finished the season strong with a big win over Snyder to finish the regular season in second place in their division. They will face Brownwood Lions in the bi-district round of the playoffs on Valentine's night. To the 5A ranks, the #1 ranked Monterey Lady Plainsmen finished tied for first in their district. Coronado finished in 3rd, while Lubbock High finished in 4th. And that goes to show how good this district was, because Lubbock High and Coronado could have won a lot of other districts around the state. And so don't be surprised if they make some noise in the postseason. Going over to the guys, they are a week out from the postseason, where the Monterey boys are running away with the district title, while Coronado is sitting in 3rd. In the 4A ranks, the Estacado got back on track with a big win over Snyder, and Daly Cruz caught up with Coach after that win.
Okay, awesome win tonight. It's got to be, it was great competition from your friend. It's got to be great to hold this over his head.
Well, you know, we really don't talk about it too much like that, but, you know, anytime you can get a win, we're both, if we lose tonight, we're tied for first place, you know, and so our kids understood that. They came out a little bit more motivated in the second quarter, third quarter. We're able to stretch it a little bit, man. I'm super proud of them with all the adversity they faced last week, you know, and so it's good to see us kind of coming back and getting back to where we were.
Awesome. So you talk about the adversity from last week and how practice went. Can you tell me about how practice is going to be this week?
It's going to be the same. You know, we got a big game on Friday at Sweetwater. You know, our district is really close and really tight in talent. You know, there's not a big gap in between the teams. And so we just got to go down there and play our best basketball and be focused and not allow that kid to make 8 3-pointers this time.
Awesome. Well, great game tonight.
Great interview and great win for the Mats. Now, let's dive into the swimming pool, as we had a signing this week at the Pete Regis Aquatic Center, as Maya Hollins put pen to paper and signed her letter of intent to go dive at UT Permian Basin. She's excited to be a Falcon and dive collegiately, and she knows it was a journey to get to this point in her career.
So I've put in a lot of work. I started in 7th grade as a middle schooler. I came to tryouts and I did not make the swim team. I came and I made the dive team, and from then I just decided to put in as much work as I could. And then my 6th grade year, I lost my first meet, and that really pushed me to come into practice every day, work my hardest, and ever since then I've been placing and I've been doing good in meets.
Congrats to her on getting the chance to continue her career at the next level. To the middle school ranks, the 2023 Lubbock County Middle School Wrestling Tournament is in the books. In fact, the parking lot here at APC the last few days has been slammed with cars, as O.L. Slayton Middle School hosted this tournament. And needless to say, with the great attendance, the energy level was high for this great event. And speaking of wrestling, Lubbock ISD is shining at the high school level. Coronado had one student athlete win district, and every one of them placed in district and qualified for regionals. Hashtag big time. And a big shout out to the Estacado Matador regional qualifiers too. The Matadors had 2 qualify for regionals and 3 qualify as alternates. Congrats to these students athletes from the Big E. And going back to the swim and dive, the 5A swim and dive meet was this past weekend, and sadly, we weren't able to make it out there. But from pictures I have seen on social media, the stands were packed and looked to be a great event.
It did, and Lubbock ISD represented well at it, right?
Always. We have tremendous facilities, coaches, and athletes that compete in swim and dive.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much, Parker. And so to come on this edition of Real to Real, we keep it real with Mr. Ward.
He always has something good to say, and I can't wait to hear what he has this week.
We'll be right back on Real to Real, only on Lubbock ISD TV.
Hey yo, guess what day it is, huh? Come on, Sienna, guess what day it is?
Tie Tuesday.
No. Come on, Lily, you gotta know what day it is.
Game day.
What?
How happy are Lubbock ISD fans every time we take a broadcast?
I'd say happier than Mr. Ward on game day.
Game day, yeah!
Going live every week is physically and emotionally exhausting. And the last thing we want is going to talk to the media. But we're professionals, and we're willing to do our job.
You know, Jared takes everyone's lines, every show. And it doesn't matter if it was me or the last guy that did the show. whatever his name was. But it's like that every show with Jared. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's the greatest job in the world. That's what I tell you guys. But when I go home, I just shut down, sit in my chair, and just think. Why didn't I steal all of his lines?
Here at LISD TV, we go through our slumps, just like anybody else. But especially for our first years, who are, well, beginners, we like to go back and review what we did wrong, so we can learn, get better. All right, look at this, Gary. Do you see the way you're slumping?
I don't think it's that bad.
That's pretty bad, Gary.
No, it's not that. No.
You are obviously slumping.
And they barely notice it.
Okay, Gary, you see that?
Yeah, what about it?
That's not natural.
Yeah, it is. It's the twitch. It's the twitch.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's not good.
See, that one I think is a little rough, but it's not that bad.
That's bad, Gary. That's really bad.
Yeah.
I know where to start with this one.
I don't even know where to begin. That was awesome.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Why don't you think so?
There were people watching us live. We were live, Gary.
And they were jamming out at home like I was.
But eventually, the great ones figure it out.
Man, what an unbelievable show. I'm sure y'all will love it. Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed on that one.
Welcome back to Reel to Reel, only on Lubbock ISD TV. This week on Keeping It Real, I want to recap this week because, man, we were busy in our class. You see, we loaded up the car, went to every high school in the district, 2 middle schools, and the ATC, of course, to tell stories on our amazing career and technical education programs. In all, we did 13 stories on our CTE programs, and you saw a few of them today, and you'll see more this entire month as we celebrate Career and Technical Education Month. And honestly, proud of my students, rather, your students, for accepting the challenge of telling these stories and just knocking them out of the park. You know, as a teacher, the thing you look for is growth. And if you go back and watch Reel to Reel episode 1 and compare it to today's show, of course we had a few slumps here today, but you'd be blown away by their growth. And I think our team at the desk would agree, wouldn't y'all?
And as always, we want to thank you for the time this time.
And we hope you stay creative.
See y'all next time.
Executive Producer Isaac Contreras, Technical Director Julius Ganelli, Pro Presenter Dominic Martinez, Audio Engineer Ethan Martiarena, Teleprompter Angel Boyd, On Cam 1 Tolliver Dervin, On Cam 2 and Floor Manager Henry Stoser, On Jib Sam Kunkel, and at the desk your Reel to Reel anchors Jared Owens and Nevaeh Cairns, Sports with Parker Haggard, Weather with Joshua Baca, and of course, your voice of Reel to Reel, Gary Regner.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
Hey man, thanks for letting me borrow your tie for the show.
No problem. Ooh, it's soaked.
Yeah, it was a struggle out there, Danae. I mispronounced so many names. And next up, we have, Abigail? Oh my gosh. Hey, do you have any extra dress shirts I can use for next show? This shirt's a little too wet. I don't know.
No.
Here at the home of the Matadors, students are given opportunities to explore many different hobbies. But what sets Estacado apart from other schools in our district is their unique CTE culinary class.
This class is important because being in the CTE gets you career readiness. We also have a program that this builds into FCCLA, which is Family, Career, Communities of Leadership of America. And they're able to compete in these fields, and they can get scholarship, learn to work in their community, learn where they come from, how to make their community better. So these classes are very important because it teaches them how to work with people, the different diversity and cultures that we have, and then it allows them to have a career path in college. It's bigger than just high school education. It's teaching them to be better people and be good citizens, you know, because they're the next leaders of the world. And so teaching them that at a young age is why I do what I do. I like to see them grow as people and be leaders in their school.